would you do if you run completely out of cash? What would you do if you wanna cut a dash? Polish up the shoes, throw on something fine. We don't talk about diesels, I'm running on style this time. Cruising down the boulevard, wheels gleam in the night. Beige leather interior, looking chic alright. Money's a little tight, but I'm feeling brand new. Living large tonight, no budget reviews. Blues! What do you mean I'm not getting paid for this?
Right viewers, apologies for the noise of the A120 in the background. So this is a very late Colt, it dates from about 2012. And I think the facelift appeared in this country in 2008. It is a lot better than the pre-facelift ones. Also, the CZ2 hot hatch version got renamed to Rally Art, which is a bit more exciting, although the power of the engine remained exactly the same. This is the CZ2 Cleartec model, which has some economy improvements like a longer fifth gear ratio and some other things which make it produce a bit less CO2, and it's got an auto start-stop system. The Colt really is a sort of cross between something like a Honda Jazz and something a lot more normal, like, I don't know, a K12 Nissan Micra. They were launched in 2004 over here and remained in production until 2013 when the Mirage came out, which has nothing to do with it at all. It's a completely different car. So quite tall actually, that's where the sort of Honda Jazz comparison comes from. This particular car has got the wind deflectors on it. That one might be adjusted a bit, I don't know. One of the disadvantages with this car, unfortunately, is the boot size. Now, on the 3-door, the boot's actually even smaller than on this one. This has only got 186 litres. I think in this facelifted car, it's actually bigger than the pre-facelift car, they're even smaller. So open this up. The parcel shelf is a little bit on the fragile side, so I'm just going to be careful with this. It doesn't actually attach to anything, so let's lift this up. There we go. Stay on there. So we've got a false floor in here which we can move, and then for some reason the boot floor is in two parts like this. You take it off like that. We've got good sort of space saver spare in there. If I can put these things back properly. There we go. Oh, that'll do. So yeah, only 186 litres, which is not very big actually. That's sort of surprising. Even the Suzuki Swift that was out at this sort of time had a slightly larger boot than this, about 211 litres. So I don't quite know why that is the case, but on this facelift 5-door, you can actually slide the seats forward, which is what we're going to do. So I'll just put this parcel shelf back and then we'll have a seat in the back. Unfortunately, I've just checked and these seats don't slide forward. I don't know where the information came from. It told me that they did on the facelift cars, but they clearly don't. I've just found out by sort of lifting this bit up here. I can actually do this now. Come on. There we go. You can clearly see there's no sliding mechanism there, so they don't. But this is one of the main reasons why you might consider actually one of these cars. It's that there's loads and loads of room in the back. The headroom in particular is really, really impressive. It's crazy. I just sat in the back of a Mark II Clio today, and that is really small in comparison. Like, there's loads and loads of room. Even with this front seat slid back, it's pretty good. Also, we've got sort of relatively decent plastics for a car like this at the time. Absolutely fine. Probably not quite on the level of, say, I don't know what it would be around at the time, something like a Mark V Polo would be. It's not like that, but it's actually not that bad. The only thing is we don't get any map pockets at the back, which is a shame. I don't quite know what that is, but never mind. Yeah, he's just very spacious. We've got tiny little windows and the A-pillars, which will help with visibility. The only thing is, when you're driving this car, you cannot see the front end at all. You can't see it from the driver's seat. So if you're parking, that might be a little bit of a challenge. I don't think you get front parking sensors on these, so there we go. Right, let's get in the front, shall we? So, Seeing here, you've actually got a fancy trim because you've got fog lamps at the front, electric mirrors, cruise control. There's the also stop button, A, S, and G off. Got a steering wheel like in a Lancer, which is nice. There are the cruise control buttons. I would prefer some parking sensors on this as well, but never mind. Maybe on the CZ2 or the Giro you got those. Yeah, nice clear instrument. Actually, it's a very compact dashboard. Like the heated rear window and recirculation and air conditioning buttons are all contained down here. So it's all very easy to find stuff. You've got a different radio in here from the pre-facelift cars as well. The only thing is I'm not sure that my secret mission documents are going to go in. But I'm pretty sure they don't. No, you can see straight away. We've got some coin holders at the top there though. We put them in here and you can see the door pockets are actually really big for this size of car. This weird textured plastic, I don't know if I'm fond of that or not. It's okay, I suppose. Lots of pairs of glasses, and yeah, but, you know, very standard kind of Mitsubishi from the 2000s controls in here, including this electric mirrors, which I'm sure I recognise that off. It's not another Mitsubishi. The centre box down here, I can't remember what Mitsubishi calls this, is actually quite interesting. We've got various ways to put things in there. 2 cup holders here, which hold big bottles. Another box there. Using the 12-volt socket to charge some stuff at the moment. Another cup holder in here. Seats are okay. They're not the best seats ever. They're all right, actually. Yeah, and again, just lots and lots and lots of headroom. I could wear a top hat in here if I wanted to, I suppose. Then yeah, all-round electric windows, including a power shot driver's window. The interior quality is actually okay for a car like this. I think it's fine. Yeah, I suppose you better go and have a look at the engine. So this is a 1.3 4-cylinder generating 94 horsepower. The Cleartec version of the engine, which is a bit more economical and has a lower CO2 output. I think it's called the 4A90 engine, don't quote me on that. Looks reasonably easy to sort of work on this. Because of the sort of MPV type styling, the engine's actually canted back very slightly so you can get to various things. Yeah, it's nothing awful lot to say really here. It looks pretty normal to me. I think we should take this little car out for another spin, viewers. Why not? So the base engine in this generation of Colt was a 1.13 cylinder which generated 74 horsepower. If you wanted to go a little bit faster, you could go for this 1.34 cylinder which has 94 horsepower and does 0 to 60 in about 11.5 seconds. Above that we get into the sort of more powerful stuff. There was the 1.5, 2 different 1.5 engines, one with a turbo, which was the 4G15 engine, 147 horsepower. You could get a really crazy rally art sort of plus type thing in Switzerland, 180 horsepower, though we only got 147 brake horsepower version of this country, the CZ2 and the rally art models. There was also a standard 1.5 as well with 107 horsepower with no turbo. But I think that was dropped around the time of the facelift, as far as I understand it. There are also some diesels available, but as usual, due to controversial government legislation and all kinds of other reasons, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. We do talk about instead actually the quite pleasant way that this Mitsubishi Colt drives. Steering's actually pretty nice in this car. I wasn't expecting it to be quite as kind of darty and precise as it is, but it's very nice, particularly with this facelifted wheel that's out of a Lancer, I think. Ride is actually also quite good. It's a car that's been obviously engineered by people who understand how to set up the chassis of a small car. It's no wonder that you could get versions of this car in some places up to 180 horsepower, because the chassis would definitely cope with that okay. Obviously they're pretty rare. I mean, even the standard models like this, they're not exactly common. They're not worth a lot of money either. I think the most expensive one of these we'll see in the market will be something like £2,500. Even like a CZ2 or Ralliart, it's only about £3,000 for a really nice one. So if you want cheap performance, that might be worth considering, because the Ralliart and CZ2 have about the same power as a Mark 6 Fiesta ST. Gearbox is pretty nice. This car's done 97,000 miles. It feels actually pretty tight, to be honest. It's pretty pleasant. You know, there's enough power for most people's needs. This 1.3. Yeah, road noise isn't too bad either, actually. Obviously, we don't use a separate microphone, no budget reviews, but hopefully you can hear me reasonably well at 50 miles an hour going down this road. So yeah, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this car. I think it's pretty good, particularly that these cars are not expensive. I haven't really too many horror stories with these. Obviously, the engines and gearboxes are unknown to me really, because they're Mitsubishi units, and I've been using it too many cars apart from the Smart 4.4. You could also get in some markets, in Taiwan, for example, a thing called the Colt Plus, which is like a larger version of it. It's like an estate model. I think it's continued to like 2016 with various facelifts. You could get two types of automatic. One was a CVT, I think it's a more common one, and a robotised manual. I would probably avoid a robotised manual because they're not very nice things, those gearboxes. They're not very nice at all. Let's look at some trim levels for this generation of Mitsubishi Colt. So we have the CZ1, the CZ2, the CZ2 Cleartec like this one, the CZ3, the Ralliart, the Duro Cleartec, the Ativo, the Black Hawk, imagine that, Mitsubishi Colt Black Hawk, the Blue, the Classic, the Elegance, the Keep, the Mirage, the Red, the Sport, and the Ralliart. Obviously there was a CZC sold between 2006 2009, but it was a sort of hard top that was folding version. So viewers, should you consider a Mitsubishi Colt with your hard-earned budget up to £1,000? I don't see why not particularly. You've got to make sure these things have been serviced. You might want to consider the Smart 4.4 as well, because that was based on this car, although that was much less successful than the Colt. It's a shame Mitsubishi aren't around anymore, because I think this car actually is better than it first appears. It's actually pretty reasonable drive. The interior on this facelift car is pretty good. These seats I'm not sure are the best, but yeah, I quite liked it. It's a nice bit of a surprise, viewers. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below, and we shall see you again very soon for some more inexpensive motoring.